Hey all, Collections here with a new video. If it's your first video seeing from me, hi, nice to meet you. My name is Sean. I collect things, so my channel is Collections. And if you're an old viewer, thanks for stopping by. I know I haven't posted in almost a year now, so it's been quite a long hiatus, but I wanted to hop back on and chat about what's going on right now with the Pokemon hobby, how the space is going, how people are feeling. Not good right now, but I think there's like a very explainable reason why. And I just wanted to chat. So if you guys want to stick around for more content like this, feel free to subscribe, do all that shit. But yeah, let's get into it. Essentially, what I wanted to talk about today is the whole debacle with the Journey Together pre-order release. It's not even a full set release yet. But as you can see, Journey Together, thanks PokeBeach for compiling all this beautiful data. The pre-orders went up this morning, January 9th at around 9 a.m. Eastern. And so that was for the ETBs. The 3-pack blisters, I believe, also went up. Let me see. Yeah, 3-pack blisters. Oh, no, sorry. 1-pack sleeves and the 6-pack bundles and the booster boxes. But the debacle isn't that these products went up. The debacle is how the whole pre-order process has worked. And I think for a lot of people new to the hobby or who have recently joined or came back within the last month or two, which is a whole different conversation we could have in another video, they were in for a real shock when they tried to access the website and just order one or two things. So for anyone who's been in the space ever since COVID, you know the deadly image of that sleeping Pikachu telling you temporarily unavailable. But for everyone new, that was definitely a shock. And I think for Pokemon themselves, I don't think they expected the amount of hype to be behind this set. Or even if they did, they weren't able to adjust their printings to account for that yet. And what I mean by that is even when they set purchase limit of 2, these products sold out insanely fast. And not only did they sell out, the website crashed, which makes it even worse for a multi-billion-dollar company. But that's beside the point. I think what's happening here is that the demand right now is just completely overwhelming the amount of supply that Pokemon either has printed or is willing to say that they've printed. It's not just with Pokemon Center, which in my opinion, is the best place to order ETBs, just because you get the Pokemon Center exclusive stamp promo, which they historically always do very well. Let me see if I can pull up an example. Let's take Stellar Crown, because that's one that people don't really care about all too much in comparison to let me see. Noctowl. So this one is doing, okay, that's even more insane than I expected. Yeah, you see these promos. The regular Noctowl, I believe, is like $2. But you see these Pokemon Center things, exclusive things, they just do insane numbers. So if you're talking about ETBs to order, always Pokemon Center first. But even with Best Buy, GameStop, everything, they're just all out. And I think it's really showing a change in the trends for the Pokemon hobby right now, I think. Not only for the ETBs, you also can look at I opened ETBs twice. Booster boxes, which I think people were hopefully or partially ordering based off of the one promo card, which thank God is not a Pokemon Center exclusive. According to this post, PokeBeach, again, thank you guys. It's going to be in every single box. So a nice little box topper surprise. But what I ultimately want to talk about is just, Pokemon has not been able to catch up with the quick spike in demand. And it's not just with the sealed product, there's also singles. You can look at any of the big hits from Scarlet and Violet. Let me pull up my TCG player again. Let's go to, for example, Groudon. I think that's a great example because just a couple of months ago, card was doing $20, $25. You're telling me this card is now suddenly $60? The card didn't suddenly be, okay, so not 25, but if you go back to March, yeah. So when the set first came out, pretty cheap. In all honesty. But yeah, I don't know. I think with the amount of people coming in, the market just hasn't caught up. And people who weren't collecting Scarlet and Violet for one reason or another, either they didn't think the art appealed to them, even though in my opinion, Scarlet and Violet is the best Pokemon has been, period. Better than Sword and Shield, easily, way better arts. You have Evolving Skies, but hit rates were too bad. Arts were good, but I just don't think the highs of Sword and Shield were very high, but I think as a whole, Scarlet and Violet is the better era. And you can find me in the comments, go ahead, but that's my opinion. But I think the market is starting to catch up and reflect that. But it is just crazy. If you're just a regular collector, how are you supposed to compete with people with bots, people who are willing to log in multiple hours before and just hope to get in? It's just insane. And I think the best advice I could give to anyone who's new to the hobby or just started to collect now, as someone who's been collecting pretty much since right when COVID started, I got back in and I've been in the hobby since then, both playing, collecting, trading, the whole spectrum of things, is don't fall into the FOMO. I know it's like really hard not to, but eventually there's going to be cards you're going to be unable to get. For me, I missed out on like the Moonbryon. I don't think I'm ever going to pay the amount needed to pick it up, but I've sort of just accepted that the best way to engage with the hobby is to do it A, within your budget, and B, focus on some subset of things that you really enjoy. For me, it's just the illustration arts. They're relatively cheaper than special illustration rares, or they really were until the last couple months. So I was like pretty big on picking up most of them. That might change now. I don't think I'm going to be picking up that Magikarp anytime soon at like $200 a card. But I think, yeah, being more intentional about how you collect will really help you in this era that we're in right now, until like Pokemon can really increase the printing, hopefully for both Journey Together and the Team Rocket set, which I expect to do even better than this set right now. Because, Gen 1 nostalgia is very strong. It's way stronger than Gen 5, Gen 7, Gen 9, Gen 8. Even though I think Gen 5 is peak. But yeah, I would just be careful about the FOMO. Eventually there's going to be stuff you can't pick up, like the big one that I think a lot of people coming back in missed just by a couple months. Pikachu with the gray felt hat. No way this modern promo should be doing like the numbers it's doing right now. This is like insane. For a modern card, right? It's not even like vintage, which means, okay, well, I guess the promo is not getting printed, but if we talk about things like Surging Sparks, we know this set is getting reprinted again. These prices are bananas, and that's coming from someone who's pulled Latias and Pikachu, Hydreigon. I've pulled all of these, but I don't think the prices should be this high. It's healthy to an extent for people to want to collect, but I think when you reach a point where product is becoming so expensive, okay, this ETB is not too bad, but we look at Prismatic Evolutions, which it's a whole nother conversation. I'll probably post another video about that, maybe within the next week. An ETB should not be doing 150, especially pre-orders. It really makes no sense unless Pokemon really significantly underestimated how much demand there would be. But yeah, don't fall into FOMO. They can reprint the set whenever they want, especially for standard legal stuff. It's going to be standard legal for 3 years. These are brand new sets. I wouldn't worry too much. If you could find them at MSRP, go ahead, pick it up. That's advice I could give there. But don't feed the scalpers. Scalpers thrive on the FOMO aspect. They thrive on people not being able to wait for more printings to come out. And that's how they drive up the prices. They drive up the demand. And honestly, that's just a huge portion of the community, or I won't even call them part of the community. The scalpers are the ones that's coming in, flipping it for a quick buck once they realize that Pikachu can do $500, and they just see dollar signs when they go to like a vending machine. That stuff really pisses me off, as you can tell. But yeah, I mean, I understand why this set's doing so well. Just like, look at this art. I know some people aren't too big on it because, they're not Gen 1 Pokemon, but I think this art is insane. Bellybolt, okay, this one's kind of mid. I don't know why it's so close up, but I think this Iono art's really nice. I'm excited to see what they do with this set. But yeah, that's just me ranting a bit about this set. I am very worried about how this is going to look in like a month or two. Prismatic Evolution is going to be a bloodbath, I think. I don't think there's enough supply. I think that people are it's just too much in demand, and the people who know how to scalp are doing it too well, where people really can't get supply. It's not just like scalpers either. It's like game stores who are charging like insane prices. Like, I understand there's a market, and I understand they need to pay their rent, but I think doing so really alienates the community, and it turns the community against you. But yeah, that's just my opinion. What do you guys think about this? Is it going in a direction that you think is healthy for the community? Because I know prices are going up, which feels good for people that have been long-term collectors, but that means we're pricing out a lot of newer people coming into the hobby, kids that just want to play the game, and I don't think it's sustainable long-term for the whole community, whole hobby to be like this. So hopefully Pokemon can get their act together. They can print enough to meet them demands. But yeah, ultimately, what do you guys think about everything going on with the whole ETV debacle, the Journey Together, Prismatic Evolutions, like I mentioned, is a whole other controversy. I think I'll chat about that also, if you guys want to see that, obviously. But let me know, were you guys able to get any pre-orders in, whether it's Pokemon Center or Best Buy or GameStop? I wouldn't worry too much about Journey Together right now. I guess if we're like a couple months past the release and we don't see things changing, that's when I think alarm bell should start to go off. But I think for now we're still relatively okay on this set. Prismatic Evolutions is the one I'm really worried about. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think. What do you guys think about this form of content? Do you guys like me just chatting? Leave me any advice, any comments below. I'm happy to chat and discuss. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.